What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Who You Got with
Melo.
and Rado. It's a sports podcast where we talk your favorite sports debates, sports highlights, and sports matchups. And thank you guys for watching long. And if you guys want to check us out everywhere, we're on YouTube. We're also on Patreon. Check out our Patreon. We got some really cool stuff on there for you guys. If you guys want to ask us some questions for the podcast, you can go ahead and do that. Or you can just give us some general support. Plus, we got some really cool merch coming up on the way over there. Also, if you guys want to check us out on our personal pages, I'm at The Iconic Dude on Instagram, and Melo's at...
Melo the Notorious.
That's right, that's right. And if you guys are watching, please go ahead and just click that like button, and please subscribe to the channel. We love every single one of you guys that are following us along with us. And we got a special announcement for you guys as well. If you want to let them know that we'll soon be
Yes,
putting out there, right?
yes, we will soon be pretty much getting you guys a one-stop shop. We've been working on the website, and that's gonna be where you can find all of our podcasts, all of our videos, all of our short clips, all of our social media links. We'll have a way to contact us, a link to our stores, and coming out brand new, we are going to start having blogs for our episodes. For those who like to do a little bit more reading, and just kind of like having something in front of you when you listen along. So
Exactly.
pretty
Dive in
much,
a little bit deeper into, the
and
things before you even want to listen to the podcast, because we'll have that as well on there too.
exactly. So everything's going to be available for you. Just kind of want to make sure all of our fans just have a way to not only get everything you love, make sure you stay in touch, and obviously get a hand on that merch as well.
Exactly. And we got some really cool merch out there. Like the hoodies are really cool. We got the shirts that are awesome. We got some hats with the logos, and we're throwing out some new logo hats coming out there as well.
Oh
But
yes.
this week we're gonna be talking about, the NFC and AFC Championship game, right, Mello?
Oh, yes, 1 week away from finding out who's going to the Super Bowl, and the four teams left trying to fight for that chance are really competitive teams, all top-notch offenses. And we're going to see some very good games. Some might be high scoring, some might be good defensive matchups, but either way, that's what we're here for today. Conference
Exactly.
championship week, baby.
The divisional route was insane. I mean, we had like four amazing games. I guess you could say three because one of them was pretty much a blowout. But you had three like really really good games to watch. I mean, some tough losses that who knew was gonna happen. The Bills, like
Hmm.
nobody really thought that they were gonna lose to Cincy, and then
Too soon. Shh.
too
Too
soon. It
soon. Too
is. It
soon.
is for those local fans. I'm sorry, y'all, but anyways, the Giants too. New York just didn't have a good
Wow.
playoff this year. Like seriously, the Giants as well put out pretty much a dud in the first half against the Philadelphia Eagles, and
Mm-mm.
then lost it obviously in a blowout. But you had Kansas City moving on to their fifth straight AFC Championship game, and
Oh
and
yes.
then and then obviously on the other side, you just had Dallas and 49ers have a tough game come down almost to the end, but Dallas couldn't pull it out, so the 49ers took it. And Brock Purdy is on his way to the NFC. So amazing games in the
Hmm.
divisional games. Not Mr. Irrelevant no more.
And no, honestly, it was an impressive weekend from him. A lot of people have been waiting him to fold. So here we are, one more week to see what can happen.
Yeah.
So I say let's just get into it. Start
Yeah,
getting into the
speaking of Purdy,
games.
let's go ahead and talk about
Exactly.
his team, like the 49ers versus the Philadelphia Eagles. Like I just talked about pretty much both of their games a little bit, but why don't you break it down a little bit more for them and let me know who you got for this one. I want to know who you got for the NFC Championship game, who's moving on to the Super Bowl.
So I'll be honest. I think the other matchup in the AFC is gonna be a little bit more of an offensive showout because you
Mm,
got kind of average defenses. But right now, we got elite offense versus elite defense in these two teams. And honestly, both
100%.
offenses are just going to create such issues for the other team. I think it's going to be a wonderful game. A lot of people got to realize 49ers are honestly still slept on, but this is their third
Yeah.
NFC championship in 4 years.
Yep.
So last year they beat the Cowboys in the same round to get here again. So this year they came in as a number 2 seed. Now they're facing number 1 seed, and definitely something that is gonna put their win streak to a test. Pretty much. And like I said, that stout Eagles defense.
Yep.
We just talked about the games they both had. Obviously, both of them honestly played good. One was a kind of a blowout,
Mm-hmm.
and the other one was a tough fought game.
Yep.
But right now, like I said, the offense versus offense. 49ers, I'll be honest, you saw a little bit, they didn't score that much, so I felt like that's a little bit of a problem for them. When you're going up against a very defensive team and another electric offense, you have to be able to keep the ball moving and put points on the board.
Mm-hmm.
So pretty much the who they just play, I don't know why I'm blanking out. The 49ers.
The
Giants.
the 49ers,
No,
no, the
the
49ers just
Cowboys.
played Dallas, and
Jesus, I know.
Philadelphia just played the
It's
Giants. We were
because
just
Giants, Eagles, and Cowboys are in the same division,
That's
and
a fact.
you were just talking about all of them. So yes, so basically the Cowboys exposed them with their pass rush and was able to pretty much just keep their receivers locked down. They had some kind of big plays here and there, but
Hmm.
for the most part, they wasn't able to be consistent all night. So obviously, they're gonna have to really utilize Christian McCaffrey this week and try to find a way to get him going. Even though I said a lot of people are waiting on Brock to fail, he isn't really needed to step up in big moments just yet. Now, obviously, the Cowboys was a big test for his
That
defense,
was that
and
was
he
yeah,
came out with a
huge.
19-12 win. But at the end of the day, if we are being honest, a big part of that loss for the Cowboys was they're shooting themselves in their own foot on offense. So and obviously, hey, I'm not even gonna say that. I'm gonna say the 49ers defense definitely stepped up. But you're
I don't know.
coming up
I
against
think
an
you can
even better
definitely.
defense.
I think you could definitely blame a lot of the on Dak as well, like you
Yes,
just
some
said.
of
Like
those
you could
throws are just
definitely,
trash.
yeah.
Yeah, some of those they're like two, like one of them was a real good catch. One of them is like you actually both of them you should have seen them if we're being
He
honest.
no, he threw right. He threw right into the coverage.
Yeah,
He
yeah,
didn't
yeah,
even
both of
look
them you should have
away.
seen
He
them
threw into
exactly. Yeah,
coverage.
yeah, yeah. So yeah, he definitely made some mistakes. So once again, Brock Purdy's getting a little bit higher, facing not just
Mhm.
a better defense, but the best defense you can face, pretty much at all. Like 49ers and the Eagles are number one, number two in defense. So pretty much he's gonna have another test. But hopefully the
Mhm.
receivers can get some space and find a way to get some pressure off of him. Other end, pretty much the other end, the other opposite. They're gonna try to find a way to keep their run consistent. Um, Designed runs got to be more consistent and not just rely on him run out the pocket, but they actually have to find a way for the linebackers and the pass rush to basically hesitate and find them to find a way to stay on their toes
Yep.
by not trying to contain them, but just like I said, planning runs will force them to actually acknowledge that in the gameplay.
True.
So they're gonna need to do that in order to give Hurts that time to find those receivers to separate from that stout secondary on the 49ers defense. So like I said, it's going to be a lot of matchup versus matchups. Um, Pretty much a lot of good play call, coach versus coach. Obviously, Nick isn't the Hall of Fame coach or the kind of coach that Shanahan is, but at the end of the day, my man has been showing out, and honestly, he's been. Hey, a lot of people kept down on this year, the number one seed, NFC Championship. Obviously, hosted one of the top offenses in the league, so they're doing what they're doing. So I definitely think it's going to be a very close game, three
Mm.
point score, and I'll tell you who I got after you let me know what your breakdown of the game is.
No, I like
But
a
keep
lot
that
of
in
what you
mind.
said.
Three
That's for
point
sure.
score.
Oh, for sure. And you know what? I actually have it a 3 point game as well. I'll just say that right away because I mean I think it's gonna be a very close game as well. I think you're totally 100% right. I mean you got the number one rushing defense in the 49ers versus the number one rushing offense though, and the Eagles. That's one thing that we gotta say, like, yeah, you got Miles Sanders out there, but you still got Hurts that can run the ball, and
Hmm.
obviously, sometimes they give it to Devontae Smith even on those little pitch routes that they do. I think that you're gonna see some of those this week. They're gonna try to punch through the outside of that defense. They're not gonna try to run the ball down the middle. I doubt that they're gonna even try to run Miles Sanders more than like 15 times, but I bet you they're gonna run like Hurts is gonna run around like 10 to 15 times in this game. Around like 10 to 12 rushes, I say he's gonna get in this game. I don't know how many yards. It could be like if they slow him down 50. If they don't, probably like 80. But I do expect them to get a lot of rushing yards in this game, just because they're gonna be holding them down, especially the two outside guys. You got Bosa out there. Who likes to literally like bull rush and likes to go all the way around the quarterback pocket, and he's going to have some running lanes there, Jalen Hurts, to move around and to hopefully get some yards. I think that's going to be a big key for them. But the 49ers, they're definitely going to have to utilize McCaffrey again and utilize Elijah Mitchell. Like he played pretty well in that Dallas game. I thought that he was actually a very good spell guy, and it looked like McCaffrey wasn't 100% there because he was only coming in on third downs, and Elijah Mitchell was there on first and second down. So they're probably going to have to utilize him a little bit more as well. And Purdy, like you said, he's going to have to not make mistakes. I'll be honest, I didn't believe in him in the Dallas game. I thought they were going to lose. I thought the 49ers and Purdy weren't going to make it happen, but Dallas made mistakes. Dallas's defense played great against the 49ers. So you saw that even though Brock didn't have the best game, he made the throws when they needed to be made. Like he made a good throw to Deebo Samuel down on the sideline in the first quarter, and then he made a great throw to Kittle, obviously the one that kind of bounced off of his helmet. That was like in the fourth quarter, so in a huge moment as well. So he definitely made some plays that counted, and they weren't just like dump offs like an Alex Smith type of quarterback would do. And Shanahan likes him. I'll be like honest, like Shanahan looks at him kind of like a Matt Ryan style of quarterback. He sees him as that type of guy, a guy that could throw for like 4,000 or 5,000 yards if he wanted to. So we never know what's going to happen with him in future. But as far as this game, I don't know if he's going to be able to recreate like what he did against Dallas. And by that, I mean, is he going to be able to even score 2 touchdowns on the Philadelphia defense? Because like you said, the Philadelphia defense is stacked too. Like they're beasts as well. Obviously, he was able to do that against Dallas, but Purdy he scored 2 touchdowns. But I mean, this defense is tough. They got guys all over the back seven out there. Their safeties are some of the best in the league right now, Philadelphia, and I just believe that their offense is going to be able to hold the ball a little bit longer than the 49ers. It's probably going to be like a 37 time of possession for Philadelphia to 23 minutes for 49ers by the end of the game. And I think that the Eagles are going to take care of business, and they're going to take it 21 to 18 is what I had it. 21
that
to 18.
Low?
Yeah, 21 to 18. It's going to be more of a defensive game.
Yeah, no, I definitely got it as a defensive game. So what it comes down to me is honestly is Christian McCaffrey. Philly have been very vulnerable, and they showed a lack of exploitation when it comes to the run, their defense, and pretty much also those short in the middle passes. A lot of times coming out the backfield. That's McCaffrey's bread and butter. So I think he actually finds a way to go off and gives you 120 from scrimmage, or at least over 100. But I think that's going to be the difference maker. And with that, I say the 49ers win 24 to 21.
24 to 21, the 49ers and an upset. Whoa.
Yes. I think it's a very good defensive game, but I think the 49ers defense, come on, you got to think about it, man. That front four, Bosa, Armstead, Akuban, like, they're just going to destroy, keep him on his toes, Jalen Hurts. And like I said, on offense, as long as they keep the ball in McCaffrey hand and he goes off, we good. Like I said, they're prone. The run game is their weakness. On defense, as well as like pretty much the short, intermediate, over the middle passes, and that's where McCaffrey make both his bread and butter. And on top of Kittle, if you don't get McCaffrey, you got Kittle. So yeah.
It's crazy. Like Debo's even getting more into the game now too. Like since the end of the season, and now you saw Debo had a few plays, in that game against Dallas too. But you know what? If I'll give you this, if McCaffrey gets over 120 yards of scrimmage in this game, then I think that you're probably gonna be right. The 49ers are gonna win. I don't know if he's gonna get that. I think he's probably gonna get around that 100, probably like just around 100, like 50 and 50. 50 rushing, 50 receiving yards is what he's gonna end up with, I believe, around that. But I mean, if he starts getting a little bit above that, especially if he like burns one for like 35 yards, 40 yards, gets far one like that. I'm not gonna lie, like the more explosive offense, you can't really say who it is. I mean, obviously the more explosive quarterback is Jalen Hurts, but
right.
I mean on
But
offense
Purdy
you
got better pieces.
I mean you got Kittle, you got like Ayuk, you got Debo Samuel, who was one of the best receivers last year, and now he's just getting back into it since the end of the year.
I mean, he had no
You still
quarterback.
got Elijah Mitchell and CMC, so I'm not gonna lie, that's a tough offense as well. But I just think that they're gonna utilize Devontae Smith. They're gonna utilize Jalen Hurts' legs. Like you said, that they're definitely gonna try to sack him. They're gonna blitz him a lot. I think he's gonna get away from a lot of those. I think they're definitely a talented team offensively. Their offensive line was the most talented in the league this year. So hopefully they'll be able to take care of business. Bosa was probably the defensive player of the year this year though for me, and in the NFL's eyes too. And like 19 and a half sacks or something like that.
Oh yeah,
crazy. But I mean, either way, it would be it's gonna be a pick'em game, like a 3-point game, because I think that it's gonna be tied up, and then in the last few minutes, it's gonna come down to a field goal. So I do believe that Philly's gonna take care of business and take it, but you might be right. You never know.
well, we'll see. We'll definitely see. Philly or 49ers, I think it's going to be a great NFC NFC team that's making the Super Bowl. So either way, I think it's going to be a good matchup,
And you
and
know what's crazy?
they're going to be
Oh,
good in
my
the
bad
Super
to
Bowl.
cut you off, but
No,
I'm
you
sorry.
good.
Go ahead.
No, you good.
My bad to cut you off. It's just that, like I'm betting against the 49ers again. Like I bet against them on Dallas, and I'm doing it again. And I don't know if I should. Like I shouldn't do that.
Hey, I mean it's a very close game. But my bias don't like Philly fans, so it's easy for me to bet against them when it's a close game. But obviously, I do think that they just have the better defense and a deeper offense. So yeah.
Yeah. But it's gonna be a
So
great matchup, like you said. Great
yes,
matchup.
sir. Yes,
But
sir.
another matchup that's gonna be amazing is a rematch
Mm-hmm.
that we've seen 4 times over the last, I think, 3 years.
I
Yeah,
think it's
4 times over the last.
3 times over the last 2 years.
No, yeah, 3 times over the last 2 years, but 4 times over the last 3 years. We've seen it, and the Cincinnati Bengals versus the Kansas City Chiefs. The Cincinnati Bengals are 4-0 against Kansas City in the last 4 times they met in the last 3 years, which is insane.
So that's 3-0 in the Joe Burrow era.
Okay.
Yeah, that's why I said it's
Joe Burrow era, all right, yeah.
yeah. So one in postseason and two regular.
hmm
The last 2 years, Joe. That's to say, Joe and Burrow and Patrick Mahomes. That matchup in 1-on-1, Joe's 3-0. Surprisingly.
Wait, but because they played the last 2 years in the playoffs, right? Then they had one
Nah,
regular
remember
season game.
Joe got injured his first year. Last year was his second year.
Oh yeah, he did. That's right.
Yeah, and
But
last
I
year was
guess
Jamar
that I
Chase
guess
first
that
year.
win still counted because it was still the coach. I
No,
guess
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
that
That's to say,
counted the
it is
coach. Yeah.
4-0.
Yeah.
But technically, Joe
Joe
Burrow is
Burrow. Yeah.
3-0 against Mahomes. Yep.
Mhm. Gotcha.
But that's what it
Well,
is. Yeah.
still, I mean, you got Mahomes right down. It's up in the air. Like you saw what happened in the divisional round, middle of second quarter. You got
Mm-hmm.
tied up, kind of like twisted around. He had to go back into the locker room, didn't come back until later in the game. They said it was a ankle sprain. Now he finished the game, but now they're talking about they don't know what's gonna happen. So you got Kansas City coming in with you don't know what's going on quarterback, and then you got Joe Burrow, who a lot of people didn't believe they were gonna beat Buffalo. This is gonna be a crazy game.
Yeah, my
Who you
man
got for
Joey
this
with
one,
the
bro?
cat. My man Joey with the cat. Listen, it's been crazy. I think because we don't know Mahomes' situation, it makes it
Yeah,
such a
it's
close game.
nuts. Yeah.
That man might, because listen, even after that the second quarter injury, on one leg he still looked better than most. Like he still had a great second half.
Good
And
point.
at this point, it's honestly against which offense is more prolific. That's what we
Mm,
expected with the Bills and Bengals game. Two offenses to go off. Um, Crazy enough, the Bills love when their weather helps them win games, and when it helps them lose game, it's a problem. Now they can't tackle. The field's too slippery. They can't throw, and it's like, bro, you literally live in Buffalo and have yet you don't have a run game.
Never,
How
bro.
many
Like why,
games? How many games you think you can't throw them because of this weather, and you don't have a
bro?
run game?
We talked about this. Remember, we talked about this like in the middle of the season. We were like, this is gonna be a problem for Buffalo. Like it might be a big problem for them if they can't run the ball in
In
the
the
postseason.
playoffs. Yep.
Yeah, that's exactly what we said, and we even said that they're probably gonna lose if they didn't, well, not this game because we just predicted,
We
we
do.
both predicted
Yeah, we both
Buffalo to
predicted
win,
Buffalo. I know.
but in the middle
Well,
of the
I'll be
season, we
honest. I didn't know
definitely
the weather was
said,
about to be that bad.
nah, I didn't either.
I
I didn't
didn't.
either.
I
But I
definitely
mean,
thought they was gonna have like decent game.
still, Joe played his ass off.
That was what I was about to say. Josh Allen couldn't throw, but Joe had no problem. My
Right.
man Joe was putting it on the money.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I say.
And that
Both
throw to
these
Chase right
quarterbacks,
down the middle.
yes. Then caught pretty much what's that? What's the damn tight end's name?
Which one? Hurst? He had Hurst out
Yes,
there. Was that? Yeah.
exactly. That's the one
Was it
with
Hurst?
the
Yeah.
touchdown on the right
Mm-hmm.
side.
Yeah.
So pretty much off
Hayden
early, he
Hurst.
was finding everyone. I don't know why I'm blanking out everyone's name today. Early, he
Yeah,
was
they just got
finally.
some. All these guys we're talking about got some weird names like Hayden Hurst,
And that's what it was. I
HH.
was like, I couldn't say Hurts, but I knew it was H something, and that's what it was,
Right.
Hayden Hurts, and that's what was throwing me off.
My bad,
Um,
Hayden. Didn't mean to say your name was weird, but come on now.
if you're listening, give us a shout out.
You
Um,
know when you're in a practice, they don't call you Hayden or they don't call you Hurst. They call you HH or they
that's a
call you by your
fact.
number. You know,
They definitely call that man by his number.
that's a fact.
Coaches don't got that time.
Right.
Um, but yes, both quarterbacks played great this weekend, basically, even though one got a little injured. I think honestly, the Bengals offensive line is showing a lot of improvement throughout the last couple weeks,
Yeah.
finding a way to get him time to get to his receivers and tight ends. Joe Mixon still, we'll see. But he also kind of been heating up a little bit. So they're gonna have to pretty much find a way to stop the Chiefs' pass rush, which is their best part of their defense, and keep that run going of allowing Joe Burrow to get that time.
Hmm.
On the other hand, like I said, the big question, I don't think anyone cares about the rest of the Chiefs team. We just want to know what's going to happen to Mahomes. Because at the end of the day, Mahomes not playing. There's no point even trying to
100%.
say anything
What
about what
happens
the
to him?
Chiefs might do. Like, yeah, because they're not going to win that game. 'Cause at the end of the day, the Bengals defense, if we're honest, they have been playing some really good coverage on the secondary. Like I said, and they've been finding a way to apply a little pressure as well. Like they was on Josh Allen's ass this
Oh yeah.
weekend. So that's what I'm saying. So without Mahomes, we don't want to have to deal with that. But with Mahomes, they're gonna have to find a way to stop his favorite target, your boy Kelsey in the middle. That's gonna be the game plan. That's always the game plan. They got other good receivers, like I said, that they picked up that have been absolutely amazing and crucial this year. They're just pretty much going to use that, especially if he is hurt, just
Right.
kind of a couple yards here and there. Have no problem. Literally only walking away with probably 20 something points if they win. As long as they can kind of because they know he's hurt. They know he can't be mobile.
And can dunk his way into a win.
Exactly, pretty much. So I don't really know what's gonna happen, but we'll see. Like I said with Mahomes, but either way, it's almost a close game. With Mahomes not 100%. We just have to see how how the receivers look. Because
Right.
at the end of the day, if Joe Burrow is hot and everyone's catching everything, it's going to be hard for any offense to keep up,
Hmm. Hmm.
especially an offense where Mahomes isn't 100% and can't rely on running. Because that's where his magic happens, getting that extra couple seconds outside the pocket.
Mobility,
Hmm
100%. Agree with you 100% on that. I think that his mobility is huge in this game, and it really matters, like if he's in or not, and how he's looking, especially in the first quarter. I totally agree with you
hmm
there. I think that obviously we both agree if he's not in the game, we can agree that Cincinnati's moving on to the Super Bowl.
Oh yeah.
Right. Let's just say that right now. I mean, we'll give the Chiefs a chance,
But here's the thing: he's
puncher's
gonna
chance.
whatever he has to do, he has to do. He's going out in that field if he could
That's a
walk, and
fact.
that's what I'm saying. He'll not be a mobile quarterback if he have to, and just like I said, they'll change the game plan up where he has a lot of more quicker options and quicker releases to where his first and second option are going to be damn near simultaneous or cutting under each other where he doesn't have to. Like, they're going to have to change up the game plan, not too much, but a little bit to just kind of allow him to move down that field.
Yeah, and I don't think it's gonna be too much because I think this is gonna be more of a running game plan, anyways. I think that they're gonna try to utilize Edward Solaire a lot in this game. I really believe that, even if, like you said, I believe he's not gonna be as mobile as he usually is. He's not gonna be 100%. He might be like 80, 90. He's still better than like 95% of quarterbacks at that level. So I
Hmm
think he's going to be fine right there. You got guys that he can utilize to get you yards after the catch. You know, Kelsey can always get you yards after the catch. And I do think that Edward Solaire is going to be big in this game, though. And I expect them to hand off to him a lot this game and even do a lot of
Over
those
Pacheco.
screenplays. Pacheco's still gonna get the ball, but he's never been the one in, like the first and second down back. Like, yeah, last he had a great divisional round. I'll give him that. And he's a young. This is his rookie year, right? So
Yeah.
yeah, so I mean, he really came up after week 14. He had like a 100-yard game and he had a touchdown, which was, I believe, yeah, it was because that was the first week of fantasy playoffs and I had him as a flex, so he balled out for me. But I mean, other than that, I think that he's the type of guy that's going to be more of your third down back. So we'll see. I think Edward Solaire is still going to be that guy for them. But I think even if Patrick Mahomes is like 70%, 80%, he gives you a chance. But on the other
hmm
side, you're kind of right about the Cincinnati offensive line. I think they got a lot better. I think they got a lot better over the year, and especially over the last like few games, even against Buffalo in a cold weather game, which you would think that they would struggle. They didn't, and a lot of people are calling for this game in Kansas City to be a cold weather game again, maybe even snow. So they might have to do it again in the snow. But if they can protect Joe Burrow like they did last time in Buffalo, man, it's hard for Joe Burrow and Chase not to get another, to get a 100-yard game with him. I think that Chase might do that. I really do. I mean, they've been just having a great connection so far. Like, obviously the past 2 seasons, but just like the last few games, they've definitely been back at it.
No,
Just like,
literally the last like 5 6 weeks, they've been playing a lot better, and the
mm-hmm,
playoffs has been showing.
100%. And I really think they're gonna keep that up. They're gonna keep that up. And it's crazy because Patrick Mahomes is only, what is he? He's 0. I think I said, yeah, he's 0-4 against against the Cincinnati Bengals, which is tough,
Hmm
man. That's tough. Yeah, and I don't know if that says anything, but
Hey,
if
listen, we're
history
already
says
considering
anything,
Mahomes the GOAT, the next new dynasty of the AFC. And right now, bro gets to a second straight Super Bowl. A lot of that is about to be in question. Because not only
100%.
have they
And
made it to two straight Super Bowls, they've basically at that point, Joe Burrows have beaten Mahomes 4 times, and Cincinnati Bengals would have beaten them 5 times in the last 3 years. So at that point, that whole dynasty is about to be in question.
yeah, I think that. Well, I don't know about in question because I mean, for Andy Reid to make it to five
Well, they
consecutive
did, but
AFC
whether or
Championship
not there's still
games,
the
like
hierarchy, because every season it's who's going to come in second after the Chiefs.
100%, but I still give him, like, you know what it is though. Remember, Andy Reid when he was on Philadelphia with Donovan McNabb, he made it to like 8 consecutive NFC Championship games, and 4 of those times they got beat. by other teams, and people were wondering, it's like, oh, like the first few ones, he got beat like 2 out of the first 3 years before he made it to the Super Bowl, and they were like, oh, is he ever gonna make it to the Super Bowl? Is he ever gonna make it? And I mean, the Chiefs already done that once. They won. I mean, we gotta wait and see if the Bengals can even win one first before we say that. But that would be a
Right.
good conversation. I'll be honest. I don't think that's a conversation yet. I think the conversation is Joe Burrow versus
Mahomes.
Josh Allen right now.
Oh
Like,
yeah.
he's beating him out. Like, we were talking about Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes is like the 1 and 1A
Hmm.
at the beginning of the season. Like, now it's looking like it's Joe Burrow and Patrick Mahomes, and Joe Burrow is like almost at Patrick Mahomes level, just a different style quarterback. Like, what do you think about that one? Josh Allen versus Joe Burrow. Do you think it's like over between Buffalo? Because Buffalo's now lost 3 times in a row to Cincinnati too.
Uh, Twice.
Oh, was it?
Last
Well,
year it was.
twice.
Remember, last year was the
Well, twice in the
no.
playoffs. Well, they played. Oh, okay. I mean,
Yeah,
we
remember
can't
they didn't
count.
have that. Yeah. So, but either way, 100% he hasn't been winning against Joe Burrows in their one-on-one matchups. And truthfully, yes, we've all considered Josh Allen pretty much right behind Mahomes, and most people consider him better than Mahomes. They just felt like he doesn't have the resume yet. But this point, with every year, he has more than one dud where whether you blame him, the O line, the running backs, the game plan, whatever you want to blame it, where though
It's always
that
something to
offense
blame.
and him just don't put up no points.
Yeah.
And 10 points against an
Worst of the
average
season for
defense.
the Buffalo,
Exactly, that's what
by
I'm
the way.
saying. Like it happens every year. Last year, obviously, it didn't happen in the conference championship because the week before that they scored like 30 something points.
Yeah,
Um, but last year they also had a lot of questionable games during the season
they
where
did.
they couldn't,
They did.
couldn't score. This year they had a few, but less. But then, like I said, they fell when it mattered
That's
most.
true. That's true.
So basically, I don't even know if 100%. It's got to be between them three now. You can't just take away Allen from the conversation. We do know his skill
No,
set,
listen, I'm not
but
taking
it's
him out, but
definitely a three now.
I'm not taking him out. But just like you said, like, I mean, it might be you might have to question the dynasty of KC. But that's if Burrow makes it to a second straight Super Bowl. Like Al or Patrick Mahomes has been to 3 Super Bowls. He's won one, been to three, right? Or sorry, been to two, won one. Correct?
Yes, yep.
Yeah.
And then
So
made it to
now
5 conference championship and made it to
exactly, but
into two
Josh
Super
Allen
Bowls.
hasn't made it to any. So I don't
You're
think you could
right.
even have him in the conversation yet.
Yeah,
Plus,
because
you
at
know
this
what? You know
point,
what they also said?
even if Joe don't win this week, that's two conference championships and a Super Bowl appearance in his first 2 full years because he was injured his first year.
Exactly. So I mean, we will definitely have to like talk about this conversation in the future, like
Ooh,
maybe like
that's actually
look
a
at
good
their
point.
careers, but you know what? Like for the Bengals, like I said, if they keep their offense going, I see Joe Cool, Joe Icy Joe just keep on going, man. It like if this is a cold weather game, it's gonna be tough. I do think it's gonna be a little bit lower scoring, and Casey is gonna have to depend on the run. But for some reason, somehow, I just think Cincinnati's got it in the bag right now. T. Higgins, Jamar Chase, like you said, Hayden Hurst. Not only that, like their running backs are on point right now. You got Mixon that's like really been balling out lately. Got that touchdown, um, you know, uh, 2 weeks ago, but he's really been actually putting in work, especially in the red zone, like pushing the ball in, not even getting those touchdowns, but at least like getting you from that 10-yard line when you're on the goal line to like that 2-yard line, close to the goal line, and then they just throw it into Hurst or Chase up top, let them get it. But I
Hmm.
think that Burrow's on another level right now, playing on point, and his line is playing amazing. That's what's been great for them. I do think that if Patrick Mahomes is not 100% and he makes one mistake, then that's going to be a problem because this is a game that I don't think either quarterback is going to throw interceptions, but the one that does make one mistake is going to win it. For me, I think Patrick Mahomes is going to make that mistake, and I don't want to say that, but I think he's not 100%, and I just think Joe Cool is going to win it. And I got this game, if it's not snowing, 31-28. If it is snowing, if it is snowing, I got it 24-21. So basically 2 touchdowns less, each
Who do you
team.
got winning?
Cincinnati Bengals. The Cincinnati Bengals are going
That's
back to the Super Bowl.
ridiculous.
They're going to beat Patrick Mahomes once again in his hometown. Well, home court.
Yeah, so I mean,
Home
obviously we talked about everything. Um, Burrows just somehow know how to piece up uh, the Chiefs defense, and usually when the games are close, it's only because Mahomes is scoring as well. But with him not being 100%, and don't expect much from anyone that's not named Kittle or Kittle. Jesus, why am I fucking up so bad today?
Kelsey.
Yes, yeah, I'm just messing up everyone's
All
name
these
today.
K's and they.
Jesus, yes. So anyone who isn't Kelsey isn't going to give him any help. So I do think that Joe Burrows go to his second straight Super Bowl, and I think they win the game with a score of 31-28.
Hey, we both got the Cincinnati
Yeah, that's why I sucked my teeth.
Bengals
I was like, he didn't pick the same
moving
score.
on. Damn. So I mean, it's Vegas has it as a 1-point game by Kansas City, but
How do you
we both
even
think
have a 1-point game?
so.
Well, one have a touchdown, the other one got 2 field goals.
No, like just a 1-point game. Like they end up like
Betting.
yeah. Like so, let's say it's
Got you.
28-27. Like so. But basically they have Kansas City winning 28-27 or like by 1 point basically.
Yeah.
But we got it by 3 points. The other team winning, which is actually crazy. So I think we're both right on this one. I think this is one
Hey,
that a lot of
last week we
people.
both picked the Cowboys. We were
I shouldn't have
wrong.
done that, bro. Why did I like? I never.
You
picked
know,
the
it's
Cowboys.
funny because we both said that we had the 49ers, and then something was like, yeah, let's go with the boys.
I
Yeah.
literally never picked the Cowboys, and
I know.
please, next time I pick them, please tell me not to tell me about this moment right now. I will never ever pick the Cowboys again. Like they're an accident waiting to happen. Stephen A is right.
That's
They're
like
all
picking
right.
the Bills, huh? The Bills and the
They are
Cowboys
too.
are 2 peas in a pod.
The Bills in the
2
playoffs.
peas in a fucking pod, man.
They're the AFC Cowboys.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think. I mean, these two teams are Cincinnati and KC. They both got they're tough as nails right now. I think, like you said, if Cincinnati makes it to the Super Bowl, then we're gonna start to question. Well, not necessarily then. If they win the Super Bowl, then we'll start to question some stuff. But let's let them get there first.
Mm-hmm.
Kansas City versus Cincinnati. We both got Cincinnati. My score was. I'm just gonna pick my score without snow. 38-34. Or no, sorry, 38-35. 3-point game. And yours is what?
31-28.
31-28.
Thought you had 31-28.
I did if it's not snowing.
Gotcha.
I mean, if it is snowing. If it is snowing. That's it. If it is snowing.
Gotcha. Okay.
I just got it like one less touchdown by each team if it snows. But we'll see. Well, because they did kind of say that it might be a storm. But honestly, like
can't be worse than
Cincinnati,
Buffalo.
That's what I was gonna say. Like Cincinnati played great in the storm, and then obviously for Philadelphia versus San Fran, ain't no storm there in Philly. But what was your score for that one again?
For 49ers winning it 24-21.
Yeah, I had a 3-point game, but mine was Philadelphia moving on, and mine was 21-18. Yeah, that was my score. So we'll see what happens. I think it's gonna be a low score for Purdy. He's not gonna be able to do it, but we'll see. Great games coming up, and we're gonna be back on for our Super Bowl picks afterwards. We'll see what happens. Both of these teams, all 4 of these teams, they got a shot to make it though.
Oh yes.
This is wide open right here, I think.
And either 4 matchups would be a great Super Bowl.
I'll take it. Yeah, I'll take it. As long as it's not Patriots and Tampa Bay and the boys.
Right.
But thank you guys for watching. And if you guys want to make your picks, please write them down below in the video. Or if you guys are listening, check us out on our Facebook page. And you guys could write us a comment on there or our Instagram at Who You Got Podcast, TikTok at Who You Got. We're pretty much everywhere. You guys could also listen to us on our just our podcast pages. We're on Apple, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, everywhere. There's a lot of different places that people use, but those are the main ones. And if you guys want to check out our Patreon page too, we got some cool stuff for you guys there. If you guys just want to ask us a question, just give some general support, or you guys can check out the merch over there. And for the 3, 6, and 9 month subscription model, we have some really cool stuff. You get a Who You Got mug, you get a Who You Got t-shirt, and a Who You Got hoodie. So it's some really cool merch that we got for you guys there. And we had that big announcement that we want to reshare again for you guys.
Oh yeah, letting you guys know we're gonna have a website set up in a couple weeks. Just put up the last kinks on it right now. Like we said, podcast itself, links to all the different places you can listen to it. The videos from the podcast, just how you see us here right here, in case you can't catch it live. Any short clips and reels that you find on our social media, a website for all of our pretty much all of our merchandise, a way to contact for collaborations. Obviously, you can comment on the videos, pictures, and posts and things like that. And then, and like I said, we're going to be introducing blogs for each episode, making sure you guys have something to read along, to give you a little insight on what the episode's about.
I'm
And
so
pretty
excited
much,
about that, by the way.
oh
Those
yes, oh
blogs
yes.
are people are gonna really love that. Like it's pretty much a blog with the episode right in it. So you guys are literally gonna have an immersive article on whatever we're talking about in the podcast right there at your fingertips.
Exactly. Pretty much everything you need. We want to make sure we guys keep you guys as updated as possible. Not where you have to go to multiple places. Obviously, we'll keep everything else still on the social medias. We want to
Of
make
course.
sure you guys have access to us.
Exactly, exactly. And again, thank you guys so much for watching this episode. We'll see you on next episode of Who You Got with
Melo.
and Rado. We'll see you guys next time, y'all. Peace.
Peace.